So recently we started, I asked Dave questions about different ISO certifications, and the previous one was the 14001. I came across another one, so I've got more questions. So what is the ISO 27001?
Okay. ISO 27001 is information and data security. And that standard is probably one of the harder ones to implement just because of the breadth of activities that it covers. It's a great one to have. It's probably the second most popular ISO standard now after the quality standard, and certainly something that more and more organisations are looking for their supply chain to have and to be able to demonstrate that they can manage information and data security. But if you're thinking of getting it in place, where you want to start really is, and I'm going to start talking all standardy, Annex A, or the Statement of Applicability, which is in the back of the standard, and that tells you what you need to do. So the most important document where you probably want to start is your risk treatment plan. And that's a very grand way of saying, what are your biggest risks that could impact on your information and data security setup? So what the standard wants us to do is to analyse that and then put control measures in place. So it might be access control, for example. Do you have an area where data, be it virtual or physical, can be secured away and locked away and only certain people have access to it? It might be penetration testing on your servers. How secure are your systems and processes from a hacking attack? But it really does help. I mean, even if you're not going for 27001 as a certificate, it does help you to analyse the risk that you have within your organisation. And as we know, information and data security with the changes to GDPR in 2018 mean that if you do have a breach of some sort, you are now obligated to let those people whose data you have know about it. Does that make sense?
It does make sense,
Good.
but I've got another question on this one.
Okay, cool.
Because you mentioned the 27001A. Do you need to have this in place in order to get certified, or are they just helping stepstones on the way to get to your certification?
Yeah.
Are they required to be in place or not?
Yeah. You need to. So yeah, it's a great question. You need to have your Annex A, your Statement of Applicability, in place, and there's certain requirements for it. The standard will govern that, or come to us. And in that, as we cross-reference back to the risk treatment model, so the statement, picking on access security, just because we talked about it, will say what are the arrangements in place to manage security of the building, whatever it is, and then you'll cross-reference back to your access control procedure, for example, and signing in and all the other bits and pieces that you do, that most businesses actually are doing anyway. So the 27001 gap analysis that you ever usually start, most businesses are doing sort of 60, 78% of it anyway, just by having good practices in place.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
That gives me a bit of a better understanding of.
You'll be delivering it next.
I know.
I can go and play golf.
Well, let's talk about that another time.